Good morning. I'm not sure what we're going to talk about here with this, what's going on the TV here. The market seems to be in a bit of a coma or on hold. Anyway, it's kind of been the case over the last week as to the consolidation after the move up. Nothing really has changed too much from yesterday. Just looking at the S&Ps here, we were able to retrace 100% of Friday's big down bar, which is a plus. Buyers are still stepping up here, regardless of, the short-term move that there's been over the last month and a half or so, and new all-time highs in the S&Ps. The retracement was deep, all the way back down to major support, but, it's holding here. So we've got a pivot high, we've got a pivot low, we're trading in between, and that continues to be the case, over the last week. And right now, the markets are just kind of sitting there. Probably the majority of traders are watching what's on the TV with, coffee and whatever, watching to see the drama unfold here, as things are just really quiet for the moment. You can see this chop that's going on here, and so at resistance, forgetting the news there. I mean, everything here hourly in a sideways trend up at the top here, just going sideways. The weekly run up, green, red, so far green. We've got 3 days of trading to see where this bar will wind up by the end of the week. It's basically, stand aside unless things are moving. And, as far as the market goes, but there's things moving here. Whatever, Facebook down almost 5, Beyond on the move again. Tesla down a little bit. This iRobot's moving. Amazon's down 25. So things are going on here that are going to get things moving. We'll just have to see how far they go. Just looking at some, semiconductors have been on fire. Maybe that momentum's going to slow down. Just looking at a few other movers here. Yeah, CMG, huge gap. So good earnings report there. We'll see if it holds on to that. EA, I think that might be ready for its next nosedive. You can see the roll there on the weekly. I mean, Dan will cover these. Snap is up, doing nicely. That's come back really well. Caterpillar down and so on. So there are stocks that are moving on earnings, but the markets are just in a coma, so to speak. NASDAQ futures down 38, but okay, just, you look at a watch list and see what's up, what's down, and you go to the charts and you say, well, that looks like a significant move, but you look at the chart and it's like nothing. Well, I guess 38 points at, up near 8,000 isn't such a big deal. But it's just an inside bar so far, no big deal here. Sideways. Dow, more sideways. Now, at the end of the day yesterday, we was talking in the room and looked at how things were closing. My conclusion was, okay, this market is set to make new all-time highs because it's consolidating after a move up. Yesterday, prices, closed well, and now we wait. Okay, buyers, let's see if we're going to continue to get it going. But still the same lines in the sand. Swing high, swing low, sideways, and same story. Nothing special here with oil, up a little bit, and just pushing up to where the sellers should show up here. See these converging moving averages. Really not too much to the left here, but these bars overlapping, but these will have an effect. There's enough traders are using them. Weekly looks like it should go lower, but, just got a bigger range here. Pivot high, pivot low, in the middle of the range, and we really can't be sure, what this is going to do. Kind of just pretty sloppy. The hourly, on the other hand, kind of looks interesting. Bottoming pattern, run up, a little consolidation here, an attempt to drop that recovered. So from an intraday trading point of view, this looks interesting. Like if it can get above this level, like maybe it pops up a bit, for, as a day trade type of setup. But, the higher time frames don't really give us any guidance. And bonds just chopping around, been the same story here for a while. Two lows, got highs up here, just a trading range, which seems to maybe, I think we spoke about this yesterday, maybe is beginning to, take on the look of a head and shoulders. And we've got the, the lows relatively equal there. Yesterday, or I don't know if it was, I think it was in the room or in here or in pre-market, talked about the pattern. I'm going to take a look at the way we look at the transports, about the deep move down and then its move up. Let's clean this up. Gold, maybe ready to go. It's not a great pattern here because, it popped up and came in, but reversing here today. Overall, just a consolidation in the bullish higher time frame, and we'll see if we'll be keeping an eye on this today. And this was like going nowhere. Now we've got a double bottom, we've got a deep retracement, and I'm just going to be setting an alert to see if it can get through here since it's got a void to go up. Yeah, cat was down. Last I saw was like 5, was down about 5, Alex. No, 7, 5%. Yeah, this might be a good intraday short, actually. Gapping down below all of this support here. So at 130-ish on the 50, probably hang there a little bit. We'll keep an eye on that one. And silver, which we added to keep an eye on, is up here nicely. And we talked about yesterday that, this came on later than gold. Gold made its big move first, and now in silver played catch up and leading the way here. So those are the most bullish looking charts that we have. And just curious to take a peek at euro here. Just a giant big mess here. Maybe it's going down below these lows and then to where? Maybe parity, which would be interesting. We'll see if this holds here or not. And so the transports, so we talked about yesterday in the room, the improvement in the transports and the ability to get back up above the high of this red bar. But we still got the same story of, a swing high and a swing low and just a wider trading range. So the message as far as the market goes is the same everywhere as to, the market is consolidating here. Overall, it's bullish. And, we'll just have to wait to see at what point do buyers continue to take control and push this through some resistance or not. And the Russell, was able to come back yesterday. It's a little bit of a gap down here today, but this was actually doing better in the latter part of the day. We got a bottoming tail bar, but just within this mess. So, can it get through this area and, it's inside trading range there. So, don't be so anxious to press the button because even, some of these, of course, they'll move on their own. But, the market's just being dead. A lot of things probably just won't move a whole heck of a lot. So you're not going to be able to find, the ease of finding so many things while the markets are consolidating like this. And once it's over, it's like we typically find more than we know what to do with when things line up again. So, That's it for me, Dan. Short, not much to say from yesterday because things are pretty much doing the same thing as they were the last couple of days.
Yeah, I still think we're going to find plenty of trades with all these gappers. There's a ton of them today. So we're going to need help. I think it's going to be one of these mornings, actually, where we have too much to look at. Yeah, Facebook just, I like this EA short, all time frames. We don't have, well, I'm just glancing at our opens here because I want to get into all these gappers first. Our Miller Herman down. Well, there's no volume there. I really can't tell. Yeah, everything looks fine. McGraw, your ADI again. I liked yesterday. That's gapping up with some of these techs. All right, I'm going right to gappers here. Facebook finds 5 billion bucks. That was a nice little swan dive. Last 45 minutes. Wow. Wow, that's a bearish gap now. The news, the FTC is going after big tech here. Might get some call spread ideas. Amazon, Google. SEM, it's not a earnings trade, but just a nice little engulfing here. Kind of a 1, 2, 3. Let's keep an eye on that. Charlie Echo is a 1, 2, 3 maybe. There's a lot of strong stocks yesterday. Dish here. McGraw just gave this to me, but wow, what a beautiful entry right here, folks. Nice buy setup after breakout. 1, 2, 3 on the weekly. Reverse head and shoulders on the monthly. That still looks like it can go to 50 bucks. Let's watch that one. It looks great. We just missed the ideal entry. Here's a couple from yesterday I'm watching. Star. Zulu Mike. No, Zulu Mike's a mess. This was a 1, 2, 3 when I was looking at it yesterday morning. Bravo X-ray. TTD. It's a mess. Maybe a call spread for Friday. APH getting whacked. 92.67. Wow, way the heck down here. iRobot is not having a good day. 72 bucks. Gapping under this. It's a big gap, so they're harder. But Tupperware. Look at this bear flag right here into this wide range bar. Look at that death trend on the weekly and monthly. It's a big gap though. Man H, 78 bucks. That's a big bullish gap, nothing to do. Yeah, beyond. I'm not sure if folks got filled, but that was a put spread idea. Snap, 16 and change. Bullish gap, but we need a pullback. Teradyne, big old huge gap, and that and Texan are up big, so that's helping some of those semis. WRB, I think this was earnings, but I can't tell what it's doing. Charlie Bravo, CSL, big old gap to 140. Wow, big gap but no pattern. SPN 113 looks like a penny stock toy. Now this actually is a pattern, folks. If this can get up here to this breakdown level and go sideways for 2-3 weeks, then we might have a 180 reversal on the weekly and a reverse head and shoulders with a price void. You see that? Let's keep an eye on this little guy. FE earnings, but I can't tell what it's doing. Slab 6. There's no volume here, so I can't get a read on them. This one's just junk though. ROL. BCO. It's a bullish pattern. Bullish, but slopping around pre-market. HLT came in very hard from a square top, but nice 2-bar reversal. So that's a day trade watch. Fleur 57.50. That's a nice gap from consolidation. I wish, I like marking off ideal ones. I love the ones that gap just over resistance. So if this were gapping to the low 55s, this would be an absolute tier 1 5-minute high trade. Do y'all see that? Right there, low 55s, tier 1. So now it's bigger. I still have a price void to 60, but the bigger the gap, the risk to reward is off. But I'll still put it in a window. BSX 42.17, so it's gapping to the lower end of this range, but it's it's still unless it were gapping under. If it gets under this bar, then all this is resistance. DTE, that's garbage. I'm just getting rid of you. CDK for McGraw. Yeah, breakout. Arch, I'm deleting you, you're garbage. IART. I like this bottoming tail. A little downside shakeout. Shakeout, breakout. $154, so that's a bearish crack. This was kind of a bull flag though, consolidation, believe it or not, from this big old flagpole, and now it's failing. So that's a call spread candidate. KNX, this was a McGraw shipping one. That was your ideal entry right there. AMD. 33.61. Yeah, it looks higher. It's just a mess though. You got this prior high. It's a mess. LAD, I'm deleting you. Knee. Could roll. It's getting extended. You had a little failed breakout here at the high. NSC, another railroad getting whacked. Wow, railroads. This is junk. See, I have too much to look at, so if I can delete something, I'm happy to. 287, it's a bearish gap. UBS, 1170. Wow, I don't know. But look, why? I hope you're not in that. Why would you want to trade this pattern? It's just junk. But I have no idea. Oh yeah, I do remember we were talking about one of those foreign banks. I forgot if it was that one. Is CAD a gap and snap? Well, the pattern doesn't support it. Gap and snaps to us are, fluid moves down and then it's gapping to major support. That's a bearish gap on the daily. That's a pro gap. under all of this. You know what, folks? Believe it or not, this is an island reversal. From this gap up here, now we're gapping under it. This is a bear island reversal, leaving a huge island. And I would not touch this long, even as a day trade, unless you got a potent reversal intraday. This 15-minute chart is very powerful down. I always like looking at the cousins. So deer. Deer was actually bullish daily, weekly, monthly until today's gap. It's just getting drugged down with cat a little bit. All right, let me continue. See, there's a ton of earnings. NTRS was a nice 1, 2, 3. Entry yesterday. I don't see any pattern now. Visa earnings, the fact that it's just going sideways here, that's a McGraw. That's a definite put spread candidate for us. If it can just keep going sideways here over yesterday's high, let's do a put spread. There should be, you know, I love doing them within the first hour because the volatility is still not, you know, a huge amount is going to be out, but it doesn't go back to the average that quick. Texan, wow, I don't know what they're doing, but that's a nice gap. iRobot, we already saw. Echo Whiskey, big old gap to all-time highs, but nothing to do with it. EFX, that was yesterday. Cat, we just talked about. BSX, now if this one opened flat to up a little bit, then that would have been a beautiful, because this is also, it's not a flag per se, but it's still bullish consolidation with red bars ignored, with a bullish weekly monthly. So set an alarm. If this can get back, if this can negate the gap down and trade over yesterday's high, then I like it. Boeing had earnings. They lost like a whopping $5.87. And I just by reading that in verse expected, and I'm using round numbers, I think they're expecting $1.67. If I just would have read those headlines alone on a $373 stock, I would have said, you know what? I'll bet it's gapping down 20 bucks. So that's telling me what, Debbie? Right? I asked you the same question on another gapper last week. It's that the market already knew it. It's gapping down a little, $1.79, but that's nowhere near the shock that I had when I saw that number. ALXN, $1.25. Okay, here we go. This is a nice gap. Because see how it's just over this? So the amount of the gap is perfect. And then, you know, I like a bullish pre-market, and I also like a bullish, you know, first 15 minutes. That's a candidate. It might be a bio though, but that's a put spread candidate. Can you believe I'm still looking at earnings here? FCX, it's holding. You got a retest on the monthly. All right, then I'm not messing with it. You got a nice new low, retest, reversal. So definite put spread candidate there, McGraw. Gulf Delta. All right. Wow, 929, and I still haven't got through all these. Gee, I'm just deleting you. Knock. It's a mess. T. It's maybe day trade long. Tro. That's a mess. VFC, mess. DFS, extended, but it's getting more extended now to all-time highs. There's our CM UPS. 10, wow, that's a big old gap, 109. HXL, strong. PII, strong day yesterday. BIB, that was yesterday. I kept it on my list. SWK, nice day yesterday. All right, so I'm done with all my gappers. But I left some of these on in my watch to see if we can get 1, 2, 3s on them, or even if the market holds 30-minute high. Look at old Sherwin gapping up with a market gap down, so that's strength. So any of those tier ones, you all feel free to help be my eyes. Let's look at, I'll go through all the opens now real quick.